Welcome to the TechSales Funnels Podcast, where we dive deep and answer the ultimate question, how did you hack into tech sales? Each week, we bring you inspiring stories, proven strategies, and insider tips from top performers who've cracked the code to break into tech sales and thrive. Whether you're just starting out, making a career pivot, or ready to level up, this is your go-to space for actionable advice and real-world success stories. Let's crack the code together, because hacking into tech sales isn't just a dream, it's your next move. Now with your host, the founder of TechSales Funnels and the tech sales hacker himself, Dayvisson DaSilva.
Welcome everyone to the TechSales Funnels Podcast. This is Dayvisson DaSilva, the tech sales hacker, your host. And today I'm super excited to talk to someone that I met at, I believe it was Microsoft, because we both worked for IBM and Microsoft, and I get stuff confused. But I really liked her name, because in my family, everybody has a D. I'm Dayvisson. My sister's Danielle. My dad's Danielle. My brother's Danielle Jr. So when I saw her name, it was so unique. I never seen it. And we have a bunch of these in my extended family. So Darnelle, she's here today. I'm going to bring her to stage, and I'm going to have her introduce herself. Welcome, Darnelle. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you, Dayvisson, for the opportunity. It's amazing to be able to connect with you and your audience, and I'm looking forward to our conversation and yeah, just really excited just to be in this space, in this container.
Awesome. We can talk for at least, this podcast goes between 20, 30, max 40 minutes, but I know we can talk forever. So I'm
Yes.
going to hold my excitement. I'm going to try to stay focused here. But at a high level, let's start. Let's hear a little bit more about you. Like, what makes you unique? Like, who's Darnelle? Like, let's forget tech sales for a second.
Okay.
What you really do. Can you just give us a high level about you and who you are?
Yeah, so I'm just true and authentic human being. I just keep it basic and simple. Like, I love my family, I love my friends. I just love the human race. I love people in general, and just happy. I'm just a happy person. I would say probably 99% of the time. At the core of who I am, I'm just really happy. Of course, there are moments in life that will challenge your happiness, right? Or you'll have obstacles or things that show up, but just at the core of who I am, I'm a very authentic and happy person. And I love, like I said, my friends and my family, and just being able to connect with any human. Like, I don't meet a stranger. People will share their whole life story with me by just meeting me in the first instance, right? Like, just in a coffee shop. I just have that type of, what I would say, energy that most people can connect with.
100%. And I think that's why we connected.
Yeah.
I feel like the same way. And I like
Absolutely.
your percentage. 99%, it's pretty high. I love that.
Yeah.
That's good. We had a little delay, but you're back. So, okay, I
Yes.
love it. That was a great introduction. And you guys gonna see that throughout the interview, how that's gonna come very clear. Her spirit, it's a Darnelle is very. I can testify is a great human being, and she's doing amazing things. And we're gonna dive into that. But how did you? I was looking at LinkedIn today. IBM,
Yeah.
is that the first job listed? How did you get into IBM? How did you hack into tech sales? Let's start with that question.
Yeah, no, thanks, Davidson, for that question. Actually, it started way before IBM. Just to kind of take you back. So when I was growing up in the inner city of Philadelphia, that's where I was born and raised. And actually, I had an opportunity with an organization that was helping inner youth learn how to use computers. And it was at that time called the OIC organization, to help youth, inner city youth, learn how to use technology. And I had a summer job at the age of 13 to go learn how to use computers, and they actually paid us to do this. And so that was really my start in technology, and how I got on this path.
13. When was that
13.
even legal?
It
That's
was
awesome.
amazing. It was awesome. Like, first of all, I was happy that I was getting a paycheck, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then the second thing was that I was learning computers, learning computer programming and coding at a very, very young age. And so that was the catalyst to kind of help, provide the projection on where I am today.
Wow, that's amazing. 13. Wow. I look
Yeah.
at my son's 14, you know. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. So that sparked that interest in technology, that passion. Like, how did you take that from that 13 years old internship? What was next?
Yeah, so I stuck with technology. Actually, even in college, I was the computer lab um, resource that when people came into the computer lab, when we had computer labs, I don't even know if they have computer labs anymore in colleges, but in the computer lab, I was the assistant to help people with issues with their resumes or just with their individual computers, helping to troubleshoot those challenges that they were having. And so it kind of stuck with me, like just throughout my life. Once I graduated from college, which I did not go into computer science or anything like that. My college degree was in psychology because I, wanted to really help people
Mm,
from that perspective. And so um, psychology at that time was not actually affording me, the financial comfort that I needed. And so I decided that, there's more
mm,
that I want to do. And so I went to school and got my MBA in
mm,
marketing and focused on that. And then I was like, okay, really, what do I want to do? And technology was still a part of who I am at my core. I really enjoy technology and I enjoy working with people. And so I had an opportunity to connect with a friend, a very, very close friend of mine who was working at IBM. I think she was doing I think they were calling it like an intern, some type of intern at that time. And she was the person that reached out to me and said, IBM is hiring. Would you be interested? And I said, absolutely. Of course, because everybody knew that IBM was a powerful company, right? So I was like, of course, I want to put my hat in the basket to go work for IBM, and it worked out.
wow. Wow. So internship, introduced you to tech, then psychology, and then like saw the opportunity in technology. Got introduced by a friend. That like, which by the way, that's amazing. That's the best way to get into those opportunities, right?
Yes,
And then you do your first job in tech sales. So a lot of people are on the fence there now. Like they think like, oh, I studied history, or I am a teacher, or I tell them like, hey, nobody was groomed to be a tech seller.
right.
Right now, there's some colleges actually do, but you just kind of fall into it, and you
Yeah.
had amazing transferable skills, which by the way, psychology is just people learning how to read people. I mean, tell us like, a little bit more about your transferable skills and how they were helpful in your tech sales career. That would be a good one.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So for me, it was taking all what I learned from college about just people and psychology and how the mind works and connecting with people and using that and leveraging that because I went into technology sales. And so
Mm,
my skills were very transferable because really sales is all about psychology, right?
mm,
Meeting the customer where they are, understanding the outcomes that they want to, to do within their organizations or their departments, understanding what the results are, understanding ROI, right? It's really about the person, the people in the organization when you're connecting
mm,
with people in technology sales. And so I already had that basis, that foundation to be able to relate to people and to really understand what was most important to them.
love it. I absolutely love it. And then you went to I'm gonna put your LinkedIn here because I can't remember everything. You worked in amazing organizations here. So you went from IBM, Microsoft, and then you make a few jumps here. Microsoft partner, and then Microsoft again, consulting. How did you go from one organization to Sometimes it's hard uh, to
Pivot.
pivot or to even progress your career. A lot of people, they feel stuck, right? They're like, oh, I'm here for so long, they're not progressing anymore, right? And I can see your progression. How can you do you have any piece of advice for people like this? Tell us you based on your experience.
Yes. Yeah. So, like, my advice would be is number one, be true and authentic to you and who you are. Number two, really learn your craft and really identify your strengths and what you're really good at. And other people will see your strengths. The third thing is celebrate yourself, not just to you, but allow other people to see your success. So I would volunteer or, sign
Mm,
up for additional projects within my different organizations because number one, I really just like working with people. And number two, it allowed me the ability to learn additional skills that I wasn't necessarily learning in my role. I would be able to sign up for stretch projects as an example. And so that leverage, that experience started to open the doors and other people would see my success. And it was just a matter of just people reaching out to me honestly saying that I've worked with you previously at IBM or
mm,
another company. Like before, when I moved from IBM to Microsoft, I had an executive reach out to me and say that I'm building an organization within Microsoft and I would love you to be a part of it. Because I
wow.
know your work ethic, I know your skills, I know your strengths, and you would be a great addition to our organization over at Microsoft. And so I wasn't seeking opportunity to leave IBM. It was just my work ethic, how I showed up and how I performed. That executive recognized that in me and decided, let me reach out to Darnelle and see if she'd be interested to move over to Microsoft.
Wow, that's the best way to get a job.
Yes.
Headhunted by the hiring manager.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And you should be super humble about it here, everyone. Like, yeah, we
Yeah.
just opened a new team and he just recruited me too. That's
Yeah.
so cool. We have more to say.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say it's really important. Like what I want to advise people is don't be afraid to talk about your accomplishments. Don't be afraid to connect with people within your network who may be able to connect you with someone else. And always keep a brag book of your accomplishments and where you see you've shown success and where you've taken on additional stretch projects and allow yourself to be seen and to be heard. That's really
Mm,
important.
I love the brag book idea, and also otherwise there's no other way, right? Because
Right,
you're just gonna get muffled on the maze, and then opportunities gonna come and go, and then you're gonna be like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" You just
right.
have to be close to the people, and then I was networking, and I
Yes.
love that,
Yeah, and
and
let the networking be authentic, right? Let it be natural, allow it to align to what feels right for you because everybody's networking style is different, right? So align it in a way where you feel comfortable. I think that's
yeah,
really most
some people
important.
like to volunteer, other people like to be the leader, other people like to they're more outspoken, others are more introverts, and sometimes people think about networking they have to be like in happy hours all the time or
Right.
doing that. It's not that. There's
Yeah.
so many ways that you can.
Yeah. Like, especially for like what I would say someone that's more introverted, maybe it's like a one-on-one coffee chat where you set up a time where you meet at a physical location or even virtually to connect with somebody for like 20 minutes to just catch up and to see how things are going. It's really important to keep your network close and allow people to be able to share with you and letting them know if you're interested and looking at other opportunities either within your organization or outside of your organization.
Yes, yes, love it. And a lot of times it doesn't even have to be like hundreds of people. You just have to have maybe a few, 5 or 6 or 10 people that you're close with, and then they know who you are and know
Exactly.
what's up, what's next for you, right?
Exactly. I love
I
that.
love it. I brush it up really fast though. Like I talk about IBM Microsoft, like yeah, IBM Microsoft because I worked there. So I mean, listen, you work for one of the top 1% or technology organizations in the world. Um, and I know you're gonna be humble about it, but there's millions of people trying to get into IBM and Microsoft, like here, like as stuff today, like millions and hundreds. Uh, and then you got both cases you like recommended. That's amazing. These days, like, well, do you have any recommendations for people who might not have that? I wouldn't say lucky. I wasn't lucky at all. You were prepared,
Yes.
and then the opportunity came. But what would you tell the people who are starting maybe somewhat from scratch, or they might be in a startup and they want to have this big tech experience?
So I'm going to give you what I say the practical, right? And then I'm going to give you another experience that I want to share with your audience. So the practical would be it's just a matter of repetition, right? Like being really clear on where you want to go and why you want to go there, right? Like, what's your why? And then also being able to fully articulate and understand your strengths, right? And it's sometimes it's going to be a grind where you're constantly sending out resumes and you're constantly connecting with your network, but get a little creative. Allow LinkedIn to be a tool that you use to get in front of the people that you want to get in front of, right? And I know some of this might sound like, okay, I'm already doing that, but repetition is really, really important, right? Reaching out to the hiring managers, reaching out to the recruiters within those organizations, being even more creative and creating a video on why you for a job interview, right?
Mm,
Why you for a job role. Research the company that you're specifically wanting to go. Figure out like throughout their 10K reports or even some of their the 10K reports and some of the other like business priorities and core foundational things that the company's strategic directions where they want to move. Look at that information and allow yourself to be equipped to think about, okay, these are their pain points. How can I help solve their pain points and move the needle further for this company, right? Like you got to think outside of the box on how do you stand out. And it's so funny. I saw this one guy
mm,
posted at a job fair where he had this big sign in front of him wearing it. And he had his face and he had his role and what he was looking for and his accomplishments. And then he had a QR code that you could like scan and go to his specific website to say why him and why he would be a great fit for those
oh,
organizations. So that's
wow,
something creative, right? That he just totally,
totally.
yeah, outside of the box type of creativity that allowed him to stand out. And then one thing that I know for sure is that everybody in that room will remember that guy. They may not remember who he is and what he does unless they scanned his QR code, but they will remember his creativity. And so that's really important. Like you got to think about how do you stand out? How do you be unique and allow your network to be a tool for you to use along with LinkedIn.
Wow, that was amazing. I guarantee that that guy's working for sure. He got a
Yeah.
job, and and, uh, and he was memorable to you that you're even telling the story here, right? So
Right.
be memorable, right?
Yes.
Visible, be unique, like
Yes.
especially in the world of AI. Just crazy
Yes.
how there's so much information. Like you can even send like 100 applications at once, but then so what's the deal? What's the
Right.
point, right?
Exactly. And then the last thing that I want to share with your audience, and it's all about when I think about, the next thing that I want to do, like how can I already step into that version of me that already exists, that future version of me, right? So if
Mm,
I'm looking to, as a sales rep and I want to go into management or be a director or vice president in the company, I'm already modeling those experiences today in the role, right? So I'm
mm,
thinking like them, I'm studying them, I'm talking like them, and I'm being true and unique to myself, but I'm modeling the behaviors and modeling the activities of the role that I want to be. And so you have to step into the version and start to act as if you have it today, that particular
mm.
role, so that your body neurologically will feel that you're already there, right? As an example.
I love it. I was Wow. Like, so 2 minutes ago, I was just thinking, like, I love doing this. Just
Yeah.
talking to people. And for the
Yes.
longest time, I was like visualizing, like, I want to have a
Yes.
podcast or get people's stories. And then they just clicked. I was like, oh, I'm actually doing it. And then,
Yes,
like,
exactly.
be and do and to receive, right?
Yeah.
Which I want to pivot here now. To what do you like? What do you do now? Like, you just spoke like like a life coach, and like, tell me a little bit more. What do you do now? And let's see how we can best help this audience here with this last, the second half here of this interview. What are you doing,
Yeah, so
Darnelle?
no, yeah, great pivot. Like, so yes, I am doing life coaching. I started my own business consulting company, helping individuals on their journey within corporate America to just really reset themselves, to get, back to who they are at the core, and then not allowing their environment to really stress them out. A lot of people are dealing with burnout. Some people are dealing with imposter syndrome. People are
Mm,
really having stress in their lives right now within their environment. And so I help people to get their sovereign selves back to them, even though they don't want to just blow up their lives, right? Necessarily, they want to function in the environment, but function as a whole holistic person. And so I help you get grounded, have a foundation, and really think about what's most important to you in your day to day, but also what's most important to your life long term goals,
wow.
right?
Wow. Can we just shake hands here and make a partnership? I, as I try to build the tech sales funnels community, one of
Yes,
my biggest like wishes is like, how can I find more solutions to help the tech sellers, because it's such a great career, high
yes,
risk, high return. I love that. I love the thrill of the sale and the making the money and all the benefits, but it's so stressful. It can be so draining. And the best sellers, they're able to kind of somewhat find that middle ground. And then, but a
yes,
lot, but you say it a lot. I would say the majority of people are here, like suffering, like barely making quarter to quarter, year to
yes.
year. They're good people. They can do it, but then wow, like, so yeah, so you what you do has a huge demand, and it's so needed.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I just really, focus on really what am I here to do and how can I help, right?
Mm. Do
Because
you?
I've walked that life, right? I've walked that life.
Yeah, and we both know like how it is, and we're both here doing our own thing now. But yeah, like being on the grind on the battlefield, we know how it feels, and
Yes. Yes.
any soldier needs help, right? And no matter
Yes,
how
exactly.
Superman, even Captain America, they whatever, they need help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, do you do this straight to the seller? Do you do to the business or to both? How do you
Yeah.
how people have access to your life coaching? Let's just say that.
Yeah. So I do have individuals that I work with directly. And I can also work with organizations or departments specifically on how do we create environments where people feel safe, they feel heard, and they're not being judged, but then also providing them with the specific tools to help them have balance in their life and emotional, what I would say, intelligence and nervous system regulations, right? So I do. I blend what I say practical with spiritual type of
Mhm.
tools, resources to kind of help get people back to center in who they are.
Oh man, we're definitely gonna do amazing things together.
Yes, yes. So, like for me, as an example, I meditate every day, right? That gives me grounding and I get centered. And it doesn't have to be like you have to sit down with your hands crossed, your feet crossed and your hands on your lap. Like you can go out in nature and meditate. So there's
Mm,
different things that you can do that fit within your life and your lifestyle that allows you to get grounded. Being out in nature is always, always a good tool to help reset your nervous system, to bring down your stress levels, your cortisone levels. Anytime you're with animals, if you have an animal in your household, they are very therapeutic and helpful to you. Being by the water is very healing, right? There's shamanic things that you can do through sound, vibrational energy healing. There's so many different things that you can do to just bring yourself back to center.
Wow. Wow. I love that. Oh, yeah. Even today, like I was like, I woke up early. I woke up at 4, and I started to do my meditation. And I'm just gonna sit down here for a second and just kind of relax for like 5 minutes. And that's all I did, and super helpful.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many ways, right? You can do stuff like
Yes.
I go to the gym. When I go to the gym, sometimes my kids want to come with me, and I'm like, no, I want to go
Right.
myself. I'm meditating. I'm not. I'm actually my workout's my meditation time because I'm by myself. I'm listening to affirmations and different things.
Yes.
So that's so cool. I love the perspective of you don't have to be, zen, right?
Right.
With your
Yeah.
leg
One
crossed and
size
all that.
doesn't fit all, right? One size doesn't fit all.
Yeah, which totally, yeah, I'm 100% with you. How do you? I know you can spend all day talking about this, but what is like if you can come up with like one piece of advice, like let's say you're talking to an audience now of 100,000 sellers, tech sellers with right to kick off and go and do their, which a lot of people are doing right now. What's one piece of advice? Like, it's just so hard. It's gonna be hard for you, but can you think if you could just tell them, like, if you can just do this one thing, please do it as you continue your journey in your career or in your sales year. What would
Yeah.
you tell them?
That's such a great question. This is a very heartfelt question
Mm,
because a lot of people, whether you've been impacted by layoffs or you're just, ready to make a shift or a difference in your life, know that you have everything inside of you to be the version of you that you want to be successful, right? You don't have to look for external things to validate who you are. You deserve to be in the room. Whatever room you're trying to get in, you deserve to be there. So, number one, believe in yourself because you have everything inside of you that you need to be the version of you that you're looking to move into, right? Number two is that not just believe it, but feel it, encompass it inside of your body. Know that you deserve to not just be there, but to feel like you're there, right? So looking at, again, like I said previously, the version of you that wants to be in that role, in that position, and knowing that you're going to accomplish your goals. You will accomplish your goals. You may have to continue to, um, you know, show up every single day, even on the days you don't feel like it and you don't feel good. But persistence is what will keep you to be on the track of your trajectory of your life and to achieve your goals. So being persistent and believing in yourself.
I love it. Woo! That was you should send that to your kickoff event.
Right.
Yeah,
You can do it. Like, yes. Yeah. And
that's
I mean,
perfect.
sometimes it's a journey for people, right? To get there. It's like sometimes the messages that we hear, or sometimes we have self-doubt or we don't believe, but you have everything inside of you that you need to be successful.
I love that. And especially working for those big techs, sometimes it can be intimidating, right? Then you get there and
Very.
you feel like you're the dumbest in the room, or then like, do I belong here? Hey, they hired you
Right.
for a reason,
Exactly.
right? You talk to a
Yeah.
bunch of people. It's not like you jumped the wall and then it's just
Exactly.
like
Yes.
you were chosen. Like
Yes. Exactly.
accept the call, right? And then just
Yeah.
kind
And
of
I
move
want
on.
to add something else, because I know a lot of people struggle with imposter syndrome, right? Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people feel like, am I doing it right? Should I be here? I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, if you think about it, just as simple as when you first learn how to ride a bike, right? Like nobody jumps on a bike and knows how to ride a bike
Mhm.
just instantly, like, where you're in like the Olympics or anything. Like nobody knows how to ride a bike when they first get on it. So it allows the brain to think like when you think that you're in imposter syndrome, because I really don't think imposter syndrome is a real thing. That's just my personal opinion. It's just a matter of being new to a situation or environment or something that you're learning, and every muscle needs to be developed, right? So when you're in a new role or you're working with a new organization and you feel like I don't know what I'm doing, it's just a matter of you developing the muscle, learning what
Mm,
you need to learn, pulling the people around you to help you to learn and be successful. And then once you learn that thing, once you've been, persistently doing the thing and riding the bike, then it becomes natural, right? So nobody knows how to do the thing 9 times out of 10 before they start doing it, unless they've done it before. So every experience that's new is going to be something that you have to develop and learn through, right? And practice, right? And surround yourself with the resources, the tools, and the people to help you feel comfortable in that space.
wow. Yeah, I love all the analogies you just used. The bike, the muscle. Um, and I like to think like, hey, if you sign up to a new role, that means that you were looking for a challenge, right? Naturally, you're looking for something better. If you sign up for something that's just how to do it, so why did you do that to yourself, right? You're always trying to
Right.
level up, and then it's not like
Yes.
my kids
Right.
play. You don't play as much because my wife keeps them out of the video game, but sometimes they play. You go level to level to level, and then you're always looking forward to the next level, like, and then when the big enemy
Yes.
comes, like, just you get a fight, and then you gotta go to the next and get a fight. So I think
Yes.
when you
Exactly.
talk about the brain, it's just the expectation, right? Like have a reframe your expectation, I guess.
Yes.
Right? Totally.
Rewiring, reframing your mindset around the thing, right? Yes, absolutely.
Do you now? Let me ask you a question. If someone is like deep in the woods, like I'm the worst, all these parts of syndrome, I mean, like to the level 9 or 10, is there anything you can do like to snap them, like some meditation session or some spiritual healing or something that you can be like, hey, wake up, let's go. And then they'll be like, oh, next day they'll be like, yeah, let's go. Is that smart? I know it's like trying to be funny, but is there anything that can actually happen to the brain? Like, I think you can, right? You can. Can you tell
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, so there's a few things that you can do. Is number one, go outside. Like I've said that before. Go outside, get in
Okay.
nature, right? Spend time breathing. Like breath work is really important. Like breathing from your diaphragm. So slowing down your nervous system, closing your eyes, taking in deep inhales and exhales, right? Breathing through your nose
Mm,
and exhaling through your mouth. That's really, really helpful to bring your nervous system down, your parasympathetic nervous system. That's really, really key, right? Breathing through the experience is what's key.
mm,
And then I always will offer to my clients, and even, I'm a student of this myself, is I find opportunities to be grateful, right? So, like at the end of
mm,
the day, I will, say at least 3 to 5 things that I'm grateful for throughout my day, right? Or 3 to 5 things that I'm grateful for in my life, right?
mm,
And so that shifts the mind around worrying so much about the thing that you're worried about, right? So if you show gratitude to whatever God, universe, whatever you believe in, right, then that shifts your mindset around like your issue, your problem, your situation can be manageable, right? So showing gratitude is really, really key, and it helps to reframe your thoughts around your life, right? And thinking about like how other people, just around the world, right, their struggles, what they're dealing with, where if you're here in the US and most countries, like if you're not from a third world country where you're worried about clean drinking water or any of that, most of us are very, very blessed and very, very privileged, right?
mm.
So if we think about just the basic essential needs that most people around the world they don't have, like we are in a position to be grateful for just our everyday.
Yeah. Yeah, like, yeah, like so you hit it like on the nail. Every night, I force my kids. Sometimes they're like, "Oh, there's something I can be grateful for." You gotta think about three things that you're grateful for today. Sometimes
Yes.
they have more time. I'm like, you have no idea how much you have. Like, and then of course I reprimand them, but I try to teach them with love and stuff. But it's a daily exercise, and gratitude is key. Like, it's one of our core. I'll have three things that we are big in our family. Gratitude is number one. Is one of the top ones. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And getting out in community, changing your environment, right? Maybe if you work from home and you just feel just super, super stressed, maybe you need to go somewhere where there are other people, maybe a co-working space, maybe a Starbucks, just getting out of your day-to-day environment and just allowing
Mm,
yourself to be in something that's going to uplift your mood. It's really, really helpful.
I love it. Well, if you're listening to this right now, you need to send thank you for Darnelle for all the advice she's dropping. Like just another day for her, but it's just wisdom here. The last 30 minutes, amazing career, amazing human being, life coach. Um, Go back and listen, please, and listen again. There's so much here that I don't even. Yeah, I'm so grateful that we got together today. Can you like to close? I don't want to close, but we're gonna have to. Maybe we'll come back another day.
Yeah, maybe we do part two, right?
Try to. Yeah. What kind of? Okay, so let me give a scenario. AIs, of course, we use that every day, and it's just bringing a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
Start with that. It's bringing a lot of challenges, even for sellers. Like, they're being challenged and using new tools, or they're really like, "Hey, 30% what you do is going to be automated." Or, by the way, hey, you should be using AI now. Like, why are you working overtime? You see the conflict here, right? So,
Yeah.
any and as a leader in the textiles industry that you were, now you have your own practice, your own business, more in corporate world. But now that you're outside and you see the fire happening there, like, how can you? What kind of piece of advice you like, as the last piece of advice here to the tech sellers and the whole AI, and how they can handle with those changes, and how they can manage their time, or
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Thank you. So, if you think about just the evolution of the human race, right? We've always had something new come, right? So, there's things that are evolving. Like, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, we used to ride horses as far as transportation. Now we're like riding electric vehicles, right? So, there's always going to be a transition and change and shift within our, what I would say, universe, right? Like, things are constantly moving and shifting and changing. And so it's your attitude around how do you adjust and how do you flow with what's happening, right? Like, you can resist, right? And you can still ride your horse, but you probably won't get most places, right? And
Mm,
so it's important to think about, like, how can this shift, this change, this new thing that's happening, how can it benefit me but not steal me of my joy and who I really am at my core, right? So allowing this new AI to work in your favor in a way that it feels natural and authentic to you, and not letting it take over who you are, right? So of course, keep
mm,
your authentic personality and who you are, but allowing the shift and the change to work in your favor that benefits you, because we know that it's not going anywhere. And then allowing it to allow you to level up, right? So leveling up your skills. Use AI to teach you things that you're interested in learning, right? So there's a lot of different, educational platforms like Coursera and Udemy. There's so many different other ones, but then you have Chat GPT and DeepSeek. There's so many opportunities to allow AI to be your school and your teacher, right? So that you can level up your skills and continue to be relevant, right? Because you want to continue to be relevant in your day to day.
yeah, I love it. Love. Do you think AI is gonna increase the? I mean, textiles already a little bit, on the top side. Like, mentally, people have to be fresh, and you know, in order to, it's very stressful. It can be stressful, right? So, do you think um do they have to even more meditation, even more grounded, even more like mental wellness? What do you think? Like, right?
So don't let the thing control you, right? You have control over your life and who you are as a sovereign being, right? So AI is going to be here, but it doesn't have to replace you, right? How do you allow it to work? You guys work congruent together, like you and AI, right? Um, and allow you to be relevant. How do you stand out and how do you continue to be relevant? But don't push against it, right? Because it's going to be here, right? But just use it where it feels natural and authentic to you. You don't have to let it just have you spin out of control worrying about it, because you came here with unique skills to help elevate the planet, really.
It's awesome. I am super excited for the future, for the present and the future. I'm always excited, anyways. But this is cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're gonna have to have part two for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Moving
Yes, this
forward.
has been amazing. Yeah.
No, I love it. I love it. Everyone listening to this, connect. How do you find LinkedIn? Right, just connect with you on LinkedIn.
Yes, connect with me on LinkedIn, or you can go to my website, which is www.darnelleparker.com. That's DARNELLE, P as in Paul, ARKER.com.
Perfect. And then in there you can find, if you want to work with Darnelle, just you quickly find a way to connect with her. That's awesome. Thanks so much, Darnelle. There was an amazing. I don't know if I'm getting better this thing. We're getting more excited, but this is getting better and better. And today was amazing. I really liked all the things we were able to talk about. Thanks so much.
And Dayvisson, thank you for the opportunity, and thank your audience for being here and listening, and hope everybody gains something from this conversation. And I'm so proud of you and what you're doing and how you're stepping out into your gifts and helping people who want to get into tech sales, or the ones that are already there, just elevate in their current roles or in their organizations. And I'm so proud of you. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you. Awesome.
Thanks for tuning in to the TechSales Funnels Podcast, where we crack the code and uncover the strategies to break into tech sales. If you found value in today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who's ready to hack their way into this exciting career. Remember, hacking into tech sales isn't just a goal, it's a mission. Let's keep hacking, learning, and winning together. Catch you next time.